we'll study the book of Job, we'll learn an awful lot about helping somebody or dealing with a person who's going through a really difficult time. You know the story, and you know that Job is afflicted greatly. He's even wishing for death. He's hurting inside. He's lost his family. He's lost his fortune. And now he's lost his health. And so his friends come and they sit with him for a while before they say anything. And then they begin one by one to talk to him. And Job lets them in. He lets them in on what he's feeling, on what he's thinking. He opens up to his friends. And all three of his friends, they all do the same thing in a little different way. Each one of them begins to rebuke him and tell him that the reason he's suffering is because it is a consequence of his sin. Well, we know it's not from the very first chapters of Job, so we know that they're wrong. Job's pretty sure that they're wrong. And one of the things that we can learn is how to be a good friend to somebody who is fainting or melting or afflicted like Job is. And here's one of the things that he says about that in Job chapter 6 and verse 14. To him that is afflicted, pity should be showed from his friend. That word pity is the Hebrew word chesed, and it means a loving kindness or a grace. When somebody's afflicted, they don't need for us to come along and try to fix it. What they need is grace from us. What they need is kindness from us. And that's what Job says. He goes on to say, but he forsaketh the fear of the Almighty. Job actually says that ministry in the time of someone hurting is a part of the fear of God. You know, in the book of James, it says that pure and undefiled religion is to look after widows and orphans in their distress. In other words, if you're really a follower of Jesus, one of the things that you should do is be especially sensitive to minister to widows and to orphans. Well, this is a verse that's kind of like that. If you're really a follower of Jesus, you should be sensitive when somebody is going through a time like old Job's going through. Now, there's not a whole lot of us that are like Job. A lot of times we're suffering through the consequences of the decisions that we've made, but not always. There's lots of times that we have friends that are suffering, they're going through something, and we can't tell any reason for it. Or maybe we might think there's a reason for it, but we don't know for sure. I guess we need to be real careful about making those kind of judgment calls. This is what Romans says in Romans chapter 12 and verse 15. It says, rejoice with them that do rejoice. You know, even that sometimes is hard because we can be jealous and not want to rejoice with somebody. Somebody can have some great victory in life or some windfall, and we can't rejoice with them because we don't think they deserve it. He says, rejoice with them that do rejoice and weep with them that weep. And so there it is. When we've got friends and things are going great in their life, we should rejoice with them. And when we've got friends and the world is crushing them, and maybe there's no reason for it, kind of like old Job, what should we do? Well, we should weep with them. We should show them grace. We should show them kindness. We don't have to have all the answers. And you know what? Unfortunately, a lot of times the answers that we give, they may not be right. That's where Job's friends were. They had all the answers, but they were wrong. And God says they were wrong when we get to the end of the story. I just want to encourage you this morning. Being a friend is learning how to listen and not have all the answers, but to just simply give the hurting person some grace when they need it. God bless you. Have a great day.